fancy a quick Just Flying episode. And yeah, it will be a fairly short one today, as I've got some food in the oven which will be ready in 15 minutes. Although we should be back on the ground in plenty of time. Yeah, just a very short flight. Yeah, that is XNZ OK Okarito on South Island. We're just going a few miles to the south to the nearest airfield to here, which is NZFJ Franz Josef. And just putting the needle round to the wind direction. Yeah, that is pretty much just full crosswind. Just doing that because, well, it's 13 knots, so not exactly a hurricane, cyclone kind of wind, but enough to make a difference. Did need a bit of rudder to keep us straight on the runway, but we're up. And shouldn't be a problem at the other end, as the wind direction there will then be pretty much straight down the runway at Franz Josef. Yeah, the half and half Franz Josef runway. That's when I did an upgrade to it a while ago. I found they had a big flood in the valley which destroyed a lot of the surfacing to the airfield. So at the time, and also in the sim now with my scenery, it's part asphalt runway, and then the rest was patched up with what looked like the compressed gravel kind of dirt runway, and the apron area as well. Don't know if the real place has had further repairs since then and the runway is now fully tarmac, but yeah, we're still on the half and half version with my scenery. And it's something a bit different, doesn't look too bad in my opinion, so yeah, I think my scenery version's going to stay that way for a while regardless. And talking of scenery, quite probably the next video I do will be to show off the Whitianga airfield upgrade. Got to the point a little earlier today where I think I'm now finished. So time to check it out properly and have a few flights in and out and taxi around and see what it looks like when you're actually using the place. Looking at it in free camera mode, that's very useful, and that's what I use for building a scenery, as you can easily slew around and look at anything from any direction. But that the final check from the cockpit when you're actually using a plane at a place, yeah, you can sometimes spot things I've missed which are wrong, but mostly with the cockpit view, yeah, I'll look at stuff and decide that an item, okay, that's a bit obscured where it is, might be better if it was moved a little bit to the left maybe, yeah, just that kind of thing. So yeah, eye candy testing, shall we say. That's probably a reasonable description. So yeah, a couple of days of doing that, and fingers crossed you can have it over the weekend. Yeah, watch out for a new video, as I probably won't bother posting that at the org site. Yeah, so Franz Josef, where I have been to during my NZ visit in 2011. And as you do when you're at Franz Josef, yeah, had a look at the glacier. I did a walking tour up onto it, which was something new for me to be stood on a glacier. And also with a small piece of ice, it seemed like a good idea at the time. I put it in my mouth. So the glacier receding, yeah, mostly that is a climate change thing. But I must admit, yeah, a small part of the shrinking of the Franz Josef Glacier, yeah, I will confess that's my fault, as I've eaten part of it. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, let's just follow this road. where it turns slightly to the left up ahead. Yeah, that's where the runway is, just by that turn, runs alongside the road. Fairly certain the asphalt part is at this end where we're landing. Yeah, it would be, because the apron is the compressed gravel surface area, and that's at the far end. Well, I think it's gravel dirt kind of thing anyways. It's hard to know for sure. The Google Street View car hasn't been down here, and I didn't find much in the way of photos or videos either. It's basically just an educated guess from a satellite image, but yeah, I think there's a good chance it's that compressed gravel kind of thing. Anyway, yeah, wind will be pretty much straight down the runway, so that should be good. Won't be a problem. It actually should help us a little bit with our ground speed. Drifting a bit to the right, get back. And we're down. Yeah, fairly sure that wasn't the wind, that was more pilot error where we started to drift just a little bit to the right. And we held off the touchdown until we'd straightened up again. And then an okay kind of touchdown, I suppose. Yeah, if I had a filing cabinet for replays, that would be going in the one marked adequate. But as always, if we're not on fire, I consider that a success. Yeah, a few custom buildings here, which are something like what's actually here, I think. I didn't have wonderful photos or anything to go off when I was making these, but yeah, I think they look something like that. And pretty much the same as you'll find at Whitianga too, where the research material has been a little lacking. Yeah, but the custom stuff I've made seems like it's a reasonable copy, even if it's not 100%. You'll find out soon anyway. Right then, we've arrived. Still got a few minutes to spare before my pie is ready. Job done. I'll see you again soon.